Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be looking at why you should not sell on Amazon. Yeah, I know, right? But before we do, make sure you are subscribed, turn on notifications, leave any questions down below, smash that like button. Let's get into the video straight away. All right, so you might be thinking, hang on a minute, hang on, you're pulling my leg. You're telling me why I shouldn't get involved in Amazon. And I'm going to tell you why you should not get involved. So I'm going to tell you some pros and some cons. I'm going to start with the cons first, then maybe look at some of the positives later on. And the positives, of course, decide for yourself, but I personally believe they far outweigh the negatives. But I just want to cut through some of the crap that people will be thinking or not thinking, and just explain to you guys what I actually think, right? So let's go through 4 of the cons, right? This is why you shouldn't get involved. If any of these 4 things or all of these 4 things put you off, just don't do it. Just don't get involved, because you're just maybe not cut out for it, okay? However, if you're looking at these and you go, actually, do you know what? I see them, but I'm going to overcome those challenges. Then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get involved. Okay, so I've got some notes. As you can see, I don't want to make any mistakes. So the first thing is that it costs money. That's right, it actually costs money to set up. So if you're doing Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, and you're doing private labeling, you will need to spend money. It's not like, can I spend like just a tiny amount? You need to spend money. You need investment, because you have to buy products. Now, the amount that you buy does depend on how much investment. If you've got £1,000, then of course that limits you to only spending £1,000. 1,500, 2,000, all that sort of stuff. So that dictates what sort of products you find, but the common denominator is that you need investment, you need money. There are other business models out there if you have zero. If you've got no money, then go look into affiliate marketing or social media marketing, something like that, or start like a YouTube channel. They cost no money or very, very little money. So those are things you can do if you don't have any money. But if you want to get involved and you have a means to make money, or you have it already, then you're going to need to spend it to have a successful business, okay? So if you want to get involved with Amazon and you have zero money, you've got no income coming in, you have no job, it's probably not the best business model for you, okay? Now, if you want to get involved, you're going to need a little bit of money. As to how much, that's really down to you guys, okay? So the second thing is that you will, right, capital letters, will make mistakes, because do you know what? It's going to be different for every single person. You can never follow an exact step-by-step guide and have the exact results as someone else. It's always going to be a little bit different. You will use different terminology. You're going to speak to people in a different way. You're going to negotiate with different suppliers. You're going to find different products. So everything is always going to have variables. Of course, there's overarching themes. There's things that you can do correctly and do wrongly, but you will make mistakes, and that might just come down to a learning opportunity, or it may come down to actually not having the full information. So I see a whole bunch of people, so many people, just start Amazon products but make silly little mistakes that they could have actually just, if they had been told that they were doing it wrong before they ever did it, then they would have never made those mistakes. That's why I think you should take courses, because you're learning from other people's mistakes, and you're learning what not to do as well as what to do. So a lot of people don't understand that, is they think they can just go out and do it, they'll make mistakes, and that, I have to make mistakes to be successful. Yes, you will make mistakes while you're trying to be successful, but some of them you can definitely not do if you're just given the right information. But do you know what, guys? You're going to make mistakes. Some of them will be very, very tiny. You'll learn from them. Some of them will be big if you don't really have a support network, you have anyone to learn from, okay? And that's where the third thing comes in, okay? The third thing is that you can actually fail. And other people, different people's opinion on failure is different. Some people say, well, if I lose all of my money, then it's a failure. Some will say if I break even, it's a failure. Some people will say, oh, if I only make £1,000, it's a failure. So that is really down to you. But of course, if you don't do things correctly, you don't put the time in, you don't put the money in, then of course you can fail. I personally believe failure is one of the best ways to learn. Making mistakes is actually one of the best ways to learn, but I appreciate that I will lose all of my money if I'm willing to make those mistakes. You can't be willing to make mistakes and not be willing to risk the investment at the same time. If you're not willing to risk the investment, you don't want to make the mistakes that will cause you to risk that, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, I probably will answer it never, but leave a question down below if that doesn't make any sense. Okay, I've made mistakes in businesses. I've started up companies before, and I've made mistakes. They failed, okay, but I've learned a huge amount from them. However, I always went into them knowing that if it fails, I know the implication on what it costs me, like physically, money in my pocket. What does it cost me if I completely fail? And you know what? I was okay with that, which is why I went into those businesses. So first thing, or second, third thing, even you can fail, right? If you make mistakes big enough, you can actually fail. Your definition of failure is your definition. The last thing is that it takes time. Okay, it's not something where you can start it today and you can be selling tomorrow. You can't do that. It's not like other business models where you can just do it straight away. It takes time. So you need to learn the process. You need to educate yourself first of all. You then need to start building your asset, which is your Amazon company. To do that, you need to find a product. That can take a few days. It can take weeks. Can take months. Depends on you. It doesn't depend on me or anyone else. It's all down to you. You then have to have your samples organized. You've got to get your branding sorted. You've got to order your products, get them manufactured, get them shipped, launch them. So that takes time. Of course, it takes time. Like getting a sample might take 5 days for it to be delivered. If you're waiting for that sample, you are waiting 5 days. That is time. It takes time. So don't get into Amazon if you're thinking that you're going to make money in the next 4 weeks. Okay, if you start today, you're not going to be making money in 4 weeks. It takes time. But one of the best things is it's a passive income source. So once you put that bulk amount of time in, you don't really have to do that again until you want to launch another product. So that's a really, really great thing about Amazon. But we'll get into the great things later. So guys, it costs money. Definitely costs money. You need money for it, okay? I have videos on how much it costs exactly, so you can go check them out in the Amazon FBA playlist. You're going to make mistakes. Everyone does. It just depends on how big the mistakes you make. Depends on if you succeed or you actually fail. So your definition of failure might be different to mine. But you can fail. I don't want to kind of pull the wool over your eyes and say that everyone's going to be super successful. You can fail. I don't want you to be those people, which is why I have this channel, is I want to teach you guys how to not make those mistakes, but I see them happen. I do see them happen, okay? The last thing is that it takes time. It does take time to create a passive income source, an actual business. If you want to create a passive, private label Amazon FBA business, you need to put the time in, put the hard work in to make it successful, okay? And once you do that, you're going to do it again and again and again. You're going to see the passive nature of the business, and you're going to want to say, oh, well, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to put more time into it because you'll see the return, okay? So let's go ahead and talk some of the benefits. I've got kind of like 6 or 7 kind of key benefits. These are not the tiny little ones. These are the big benefits, okay? The big overarching benefits that personally got me involved within this niche, right? The first thing is you learn how to create a private label product. That is a skill that is so invaluable. You don't know when in the future that's going to pay off, because once you learn how to private label a product, create your own brand, creating your own brand, a lot of people will look at you and be like, oh my God, you are a superstar. Like, how the hell did you do that? How did you learn how to do all of those things? A lot of people look at you as an outsider thinking like, how's this person done this? Like, how this is impossible. Only like kind of rich people can start brands. And obviously we know that's just not true. You can do it yourself. You just need to learn how to do it, right? But you're learning how to private label products and create a brand. That's incredible. That's just so powerful that even if Amazon FBA isn't the business model that you end up going with, creating a brand and being able to private label products is something that is profitable, definitely, and you will be able to make money through it, even if it's not through Amazon. You can do it through other platforms. You can still make money, okay? But creating a private label product is just crazy beneficial. The next thing, right, the second thing is you're learning how to import goods into your country. So it's not like you're going down the shops like with retail arbitrage, you're going to Toys R Us because they're closing down, I'm going to go buy loads of products and I'm going to sell on Amazon. You're learning how to import your private label products from, let's just say, China. Most people get it from China, and you're bringing them into your country. So you're learning about, like in the UK, VAT laws, you're learning about customs duty, you're learning about freight forwarding, you're learning about all this cool stuff that a lot of people will never know. And if you can do that, again, that's another business model you might be really interested in. You might want to do an import-export business. You never know. But that is a key skill that you are able to learn just by learning Amazon FBA and private labeling. You learn how to import goods into your country. And not only that, you can learn how to import goods into other people's countries while sitting in your hammock in some country halfway around the world. You can be anywhere. So those are crazy, crazy big benefits, and you shouldn't undervalue those things. I certainly don't either. Right, the third thing is you're learning how to run an e-commerce business, okay? Everyone knows that retail shops, like physical bricks and mortar shops, are declining in sales, okay? Less people are going to like small shops, okay? I'm not talking about big shops, I'm talking about like smaller shops. Less people are going to small shops to buy their stuff. So if you were to set up your store, you were to do private labeling, you were to import your goods, but have a physical store, it's going to be a lot harder to be successful, significantly harder to be successful. I would almost say like 99% harder to be successful at that. Whereas if you do it online, that's where everyone is moving to online. Everyone's buying their stuff from Amazon. More and more people, particularly in the UK, are starting to shop on Amazon. You can see it's happened in the US. Like 68% of people, literally people in the US, shop on Amazon. That's crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. Where in the UK, it's about, I think it's like 26% or 36%. It's something, I think it's under 30%, which means that there's a huge amount of growth potential. So the sooner you get involved, the more opportunity you can gain in the future, which is something crazy. So you're building an e-commerce store, you're building an e-commerce brand. That is powerful. If you learn how to do that now, imagine what you could be doing in 2 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time. Think about the long game, guys. You know, this game isn't just about quick money, quick passive, or quick like get rich quick. It's not about that. It's about creating passive income. It's about, you know, creating financial freedom and building an asset, right? Which brings me on to my fourth thing is building an asset. You're actually building a company. You're building something you can then later sell if you really want to, especially if you're building a strong brand image. Now, the ability of this is that if you do this for 2 years, you can sell your brand to someone else. You can sell it to a competitor, right? They would love to eat up your company if they have the money to be able to do it. So building an asset is super, super key with financial freedom, because without assets, you can't create passive income. You can't actually automate it to then take a step away. This is something that I really, really love talking about, is passive income, because I don't want to be sitting on my computer all day. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be going enjoying life. Like, I'm going to Dubai next week. I'm going to do some like cool jet skiing and stuff like that whilst earning money at the same time. I might go to Bali in May, okay? And again, it's going to be like a business trip, but I'll be making money passively while I'm there, when I'm flying, when I'm sleeping. And that's what you want to be able to set up. You want to set up that passive income asset that's going to pay you over and over again. And this is the really key thing, guys. This is like so, so important. Once you've done all of those things, once you've learned how to sell on Amazon with private label and FBA or whatever, you can rinse and repeat it. You can do it again and again and again and again. That might be with different products. That might be with actual brands. So you could start one brand, you could sell it after 2 years, and you can start another one. Even in that time, you might have been able to start another one within those 2 years and sell that one as well. So you have the ability to just rinse and repeat. It's a method that works. It works for so many people. There's no reason it can't work for you and me. The only reason it wouldn't is if you don't put the time in, you don't put the effort in, you kind of make stupid mistakes that are literally easy to overcome. Those are the only really reasons. Oh, if you give up, actually. The giving up is the main one. If you give up, you're probably not going to be successful. You won't be successful if you give up. But if you don't give up, if you put the time in, if you invest your time and money into it, there's no reason why you can't be successful, okay? Loads of people do it, loads of people will do it, and unfortunately, a lot of people will fail as well. It's like 3 out of 4 businesses fail. Like, I've started businesses and they failed, okay? I know what that's like, but it's a law of averages. If you do it enough times, you will be successful because you're going to learn each time that you do it. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Remember, my battery is literally about to run out. So I was going to recap that. I'm not going to recap it. You can watch it back. But basically, time, money, you need it. The good stuff is the good stuff. The good stuff is the good stuff. Yeah, I like that. That's something to live your life by. Actually, I will leave you with this. Would you rather spend the next 4 years working on your own company or working on someone else's? If the answer is your own, then you need to start up as an entrepreneur. You need to start an e-commerce brand. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you think. Smash the like button if you liked it, and I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.